Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nosunye Juliet. So today we'll be going straight into the updates from UK's latest immigration changes, okay? And these changes was published on the 14th of October 2025, and most of these changes have been put to effect from 11th of November, and some are still going to stagger into 2027. All right. So in October 2025, the UK government published a major update in the immigration rules known as Statement of Changes, HC 1333. So they also published a 16 pages document known as Explanatory Memorandum. This document explains in plain English what those changes do, those that are affected, when it's going to start, and why these changes were introduced. So the changes they brought about cover so many things, but I'm not going to go into all the changes. I'll just go to briefly those that I feel that concerns my audience, all right? And like I always say, I know that I'm late for the party, but better late than never. All right, let's dive into this roller coaster. So the first one is visit visa for the nationals of Botswana. So what changed here is that the UK government is saying that from 14th of October 2025, that the citizens of Botswana must obtain a visit visa before traveling to the United Kingdom. Previously, most Botswana visitors travel without a visa for short-term visits here into the United Kingdom. But the UK government is trying to say now that this has changed. And they also gave a short transitional period if the Botswana nationals have already booked their travel before these changes were announced. They can still travel without visa. So they can still travel until 25th of November 2025. After this date, all Botswana nationals must have a visa in advance before coming into the United Kingdom. And the reason the government made these changes is that they feel that free visa regime they give is no longer appropriate to the Botswanas, and also for advanced visa screenings for security reasons and to curb migration as well. So this will help the UK government to manage risk like unfounded asylums claims or misuse of the visit routes. And who will these changes affect? It's going to affect the tourists, the family visitors, business visitors, and other short-term visitors from Botswana. Okay? And this is taking effect immediately from 14th of October 2025. It's a limited period grace, like I mentioned earlier. So from 26th of November 2025, there will be no more exceptions. Okay? So the next one is the high potential individuals, HPI. Okay? HPI route is intended to attract graduates from top global universities. So the government wants to invite wider pool of talented graduates by extending the lists. Okay, so the Home Office kind of extended the list for this HPI routes. Okay, so they are doing this in order to maintain the overall control of numbers by placing an annual cap, which they said is 8,000 annually. And so they also want to reserve the right to exclude any institution where they feel that there is concerns, and this is done in order to maintain national security and public confidence. Okay, so all you need to do now is to have a look to know the universities that are qualified for this HPI visa route, and to know if your university is qualified for that, so that you can switch to that route as well when need be. And the expanded HPI provisions and cap will take effect from 4th of November 2025. Okay, So have a look to know if your school is enlisted or eligible. So the next interesting one is the one concerning the English language requirement. Okay. So the UK government made some changes by increasing the English language requirements from CEFR level B1. Okay. I know some people will be wondering what is CEFR. So that's Common European Framework of Reference. Okay. This is just like a scale which measures, how well you speak English. In this scale, we've got different levels. I'm just going to leave like a table on the screen for you to understand better. Okay. So you will see that we've got A1 and A2 level. That's like for basic users. And then we've got level B1, and level B1 is for lower intermediate users. And we've got level B2, which is for upper intermediate users. And we've got C1, C2, which is, for proficiency users. So the changes that is made here is that the English requirement level is increasing from CEFR level B1 to CEFR level B2. And this applies to the skilled workers, those on high potential individual routes, and for scale up workers. Okay. So I know you'll be wondering why the government did this. So we all remember that sometime in May, they said something about this in the white paper. So they brought about, that they are going to make these changes. Okay. Their intention is just to ensure that those that are arriving under skilled and high potential routes have stronger English language ability. So the rationale includes, for better integration in the workplace and society, ensuring that workers can perform effectively in skilled roles. Okay. And also aligning with general shifts towards higher skilled, higher waged migration. So those who these changes are affected are the new applicants to the skilled worker, HPI, and scale up workers. So the implementation starts on or after 8th of January 2026. Yes, 8th of January 2026. That's when this is, going to start. So if you are already on this route at B1 level, you are not forced to upgrade to B2, okay, when moving on the same route. So it's only when you're switching or for new applicants. Those are the ones that are affected. And like I said, it's going to commence 8th of January 2026. Graduate route, that's the post-study work route, shortened. So in this new statement of change, the UK government have reduced the post-study visa route from 2 years to 18 months. And for the PhD and other doctoral graduates, it's still 3 years. Nothing has changed, all right? So in the future, if you are coming into the United Kingdom for bachelor's or master's degree, just have it at the back of your mind that after this, you've got 18 months to stay, okay? And this change, is going to begin on or after 1st of January 2027, okay? If or for current graduate visa holders and those who applied before 1st of January 2027, they can still retain their existing duration, which is 2 years, okay? And the UK government designed this in order to encourage graduates to transition more quickly into sponsored skilled works and to discourage long periods where graduates remain in the UK without moving into the graduate level employment. Okay. And this is also done, of course, to curb migration numbers. So, my advice to you, the students, is do not just wait until you're done with your studies before you begin to make plans. Time starts now, no delay. So begin to make plans on how to transition into that sponsored skilled work job, or how to transition to innovator founder visa, or how to transition to the graduate visa. Okay, so it's high time you started to make plans for yourself. Okay, the next one is German school groups. So they have made easier educational visits for German school groups. So what changed? A special arrangement was made for German schools to visit the UK. So people from age 19 to under, that's the students in school in Germany, can travel in organized pairs, like 5 or more students, without needing to obtain an individual visa or electronic travel authorization ETA. So as long as these German schools meet the required criteria. So the UK government also said that in this statement of change that students who are EU or EEA or Swiss nationals in those German schools groups can use their national identity cards rather than passports for the travels on these trips. Okay. After the Brexit, the UK stopped accepting EU national ID cards, and they ended a scheme called the List of Travelers. Okay. So they ended that scheme, and this led to the German authorities to raise a concern that this is going to make their educational trips to the UK much harder. And this led to this new arrangement in order to restore practical routes for German schools to bring students to the UK on short educational visits. So this is also going to help to maintain cultural and educational links between the UK and the Germany. Okay, so those involved are German schools and the teachers organizing the trips to the UK, students in Germany, including the non-EU nationals in German schools. Okay, all those who are involved in ensuring that the school visit comes to play, and also UK tourism sectors. So this special arrangement begins to apply from 11th November 2025. Okay, so that is it for the German school. Okay, so they have made easier educational visa for the people in the German groups. Well, the next one is student entrepreneurs switching to innovator founder visa. One thing I've noticed by the UK government is that irrespective that they are curbing, the number of people coming into the United Kingdom, at the same time, they are also open to those who've got talents, who want to display their talents. You know, they've got this pool or visa to accept such talents into the United Kingdom. So students who have completed their course and are switching to the innovator founder route will now be allowed to start their business while they are still on their student visa. After their studies have finished, okay, and while their innovator founder application is pending. So, previously, student visa conditions generally prohibited students from engaging in business or self employment. But now, this new rule is creating an exception for graduates who have applied to switch into the innovator founder visa route. Okay. The reason for this is to support student entrepreneurship and avoid delays in launching new businesses. Okay, and those who are involved are the international students in the UK who wish to start innovative businesses and intend to switch to innovator founder routes after completing their studies. So, this is good news. You can now switch to this innovator founder visa and launch your new business. And this applies from 25th November 2025. Okay? So there are other bits they made mentioned about, like part 9 replaced with part suitability. Yeah. So where the UK government talked about bringing together different reasons why an application might be refused or while an existing permission might be cancelled. Okay, so I'm just going to leave the documents for you to go through and see what they said about that. They made mention also about family and private life routes and then so many others. They also talked about the global talent visas, EU settlement schemes, okay? But I just don't want to go into that, okay? I just want to touch the parts which I feel affects my audience and my viewers. So in conclusion, what I would love to say is that let us continue to make the right decisions. Let us not just wait until the last minute before we begin to make decisions, especially for the students. Okay, so you try to make decisions before you graduate. And for the skilled workers, it's high time you started to upgrade yourself, make yourself useful to the society by upgrading yourself in order to have values, okay? Because I believe that if you have values to offer, your job won't be at stake. And at the same time, begin now to make practice for your English language. Try to improve yourself in your speaking, listening, reading in order to promote yourself. And I made a video about my IELTS journey and how it went. And if you want me also to give you the materials that I used, you can comment also, and I will give you the materials. Okay. So thank you so much for listening to me, to my subscribers. God bless you. You are the best. Thank you for staying glued on the screen. Okay. Expect to see more of me. Take care and bye.